It wasn't quite maybe loud enough, but that was Bob Dylan who played it for you, you know.
Yeah, it's very hard to hear in here. It's just echoing.
Dignity,
so
we call it.
Just the sound of voice, yeah.
Well, I want to say thank you very much for doing this.
Well, thank you for asking me.
And because he has a show tonight, you know, at the Rio. So
the Rio All-Suites Hotel Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada, the Penn Jillette Theater.
That Rio. So this is the second time that I got this amazing man to say yes to me. The first time is when I had, I'm going to tell him. We dated, and I had a really sexy job title at the time with about the most impossible job that any idiot could have. The title was President of CBS Radio Programming, and the impossibility was the idiot who had to try to figure out how to replace Howard Stern. So we ended up hiring about 30 new radio shows around the country. One of them was Adam Carolla, and the other is this man who, I'm just going to say as if you're not here for 2 seconds, powerfully intelligent, passionate, one of the best radio shows that I've ever heard from right here in his hometown and syndicated all across the country. So thank you for that too.
Thank you. Increase in intimacy. You're seeing an incredible increase in people talking about their hearts. And anybody, I mean, it's kind of like when you would see old people in the 60s talk about how rock and roll was ruining the world. They're doing the same fucking thing to gamers and to all the people who are in love with each other online, who are telling the truth online, and trying to make them out to be cold and not communicating with people. If they're not communicating with people, what the fuck are they doing? There's nothing cold about it. So I only tweet the way I would have a conversation. I try to not be hyping shit. I let people know when there's a show, and there's no doubt that, you know, when we're playing Atlantic City, if the ticket sales are a little soft, I do put a tweet in, but I try to make sure that that's a very small percentage. I try to talk about stuff that really matters and really is from my heart, and that is no different than you do in any other form. There is no such thing as new media. There is no such thing as Marsha McLuhan's "the media is the message." It's just people. So when I am going on Letterman, I try to tell the truth as I see it. When I'm sitting here, I try to tell the truth as I see it. When I'm on Twitter, I try to type the truth as I see it. And it's exactly the same as talking to somebody. And all the people that try to pretend that it's something colder and distant, or that it's something that you can game. You know, I mean, the radio stations and record companies learned to game rock and roll. They learned to game rock and roll in about 1968, and from then on, it got sucky. And that's why gamers came along. And even though that's happening and that's corporate making a lot of money, they still haven't found a way to control it. And all you've got to do is bring it down to people. And I think Twitter is more honest, direct, and more intimate than most conversations you have with people face to face. And this whole kind of fear of technology, this whole Luddite thing, just pisses me off. So all I do on my Twitter is try to type what's in my heart, and that's exactly what I try to do everywhere. There's no difference, there's nothing special, there's nothing magic.